Strong bases, weak bases. Let us discuss them one by one in detail. Strong bases. A base which completely ionizes in water and thus produces a large amount of hydroxide ions is called a strong base. For example, sodium hydroxide and potassium hydroxide. Weak bases. A base which is partially ionized in water and thus produces a small amount of hydroxide ions is called a weak base. For example, ammonium hydroxide and calcium hydroxide. Different properties of bases. 1. Bases have bitter taste. 2. Bases feel soapy to touch. For example, if you rub a drop of sodium hydroxide solution between the tips of your fingers, you will feel soapy. 3. Bases turn red litmus to blue. When you dip the red litmus paper in the sodium hydroxide solution, the color of the dipped portion changes into blue. 4. Bases conduct electricity in solution. When the carbon rods are placed in the beaker containing sodium hydroxide solution, the light bulb glows because bases conduct electricity. 5. Bases react with metals to form hydrogen gas. For example, when sodium hydroxide solution is heated with zinc, then sodium zincate and hydrogen gas is formed. Bases react with acids to form salt and water. For example, when sodium hydroxide reacts with sulfuric acid, then sodium sulfate and water are formed. This is an example of neutralization reaction. 7. Bases react with non-metal oxides to form salt and water. For example, calcium hydroxide solution reacts with carbon dioxide to produce calcium carbonate and water. Crystallization. Hydrated salts. For example, 1. Copper sulfate crystals contain 5 molecules of water of crystallization in one formula unit and hence written as CuSO4 5H2O. It is called copper sulfate pentahydrate. Pentahydrate means 5 molecules of water. 2. Sodium carbonate crystals or washing soda crystals contain 10 molecules of water of crystallization per formula unit and hence written as Na2CO3 10H2O. This is called decahydrate. Decahydrate means 10 molecules of water. 3. Calcium sulfate crystals or gypsum crystals contain 2 molecules of water of crystallization in one formula unit and hence written as CaSO4 2H2O. It is called calcium sulfate dihydrate. Dihydrate means 2 molecules of water. Iron sulfate crystals contain 7 molecules of water of crystallization per formula unit and hence written as FeSO4 7H2O. It is called iron sulfate heptahydrate. Heptahydrate means 7 molecules of water. The water of crystallization gives the crystals of the salts their shape and in some cases imparts them color. For example, the presence of water of crystallization in copper sulfate crystals imparts them a blue color. Thus, CuSO4 5H2O is blue in color. Action of heat on hydrated salts. When hydrated salts are heated strongly, they lose their water of crystallization, thus lose their regular shape and color, and become colorless powdery substances. The salts which have lost their water of crystallization are called anhydrous salts. Thus, the anhydrous salts have no water of crystallization. When water is added to an anhydrous salt, it becomes hydrated once again and regains its color. Let us understand it with an example. Copper sulfate crystals are blue in color. When copper sulfate crystals are heated strongly, they lose all the water of crystallization and form anhydrous copper sulfate. But when water is added to an anhydrous copper sulfate, it gets hydrated and turns blue due to the formation of hydrated copper sulfate.